this crime wave that's happening. It's a crime wave. The number of people coming in, we have no idea what the number is. I say 21 million. A lot of people think it's more than that. And then you start talking about the gotaways. I think the gotaways could be, Dan, double that. Who knows what it is? They're running into the country. We have no idea. That we call them from parts. I call them from parts unknown. As of 2 weeks ago, Tom Homan told me it was 181 countries were represented and people pouring in. So it's no longer just a small group of people from the 3 or 4 countries that we're accustomed to talking about. In an interview last week, Kamala Harris was asked directly if she would apologize to Alexis for letting in the savage killer that took Jocelyn's life, and Kamala Harris refused to take any responsibility whatsoever. She refused to own up to the fact that open borders, and totally unchecked. It's not even open borders. Open borders are horrible, and how stupid are they? How stupid. We're the only country in the world that has this. But they don't even check them. They don't vet them. They don't know who they are. They don't know where they're going. They just come in, and then they fly them over, you know? When the border got a little bit tougher because people were getting angry and just, we had citizens standing at the border wanting to do, and then they get in trouble because they want to do the job the federal government's supposed to be doing. But she refused to own up to it. And last night she said she wants to make strong borders. I mean, what she did last night and the night before, the town hall with Cooper was just unbelievable. Allison Cooper got so angry. But think of it, never an apology, never a phone call to anybody. So thank you very much, Alexis. We're going to get this thing straightened out. We're going to get it straightened out. We got to get it straightened out. Just from the standpoint of our heart, no calls, nothing. Worst of all, Kamala refuses to stop importing these killers into our country every day. She brings in more. She's got no remorse at all for the innocent blood that's on her hands, and the blood is on her hands, and Biden too, but Biden doesn't know where the hell he is, so what difference? I just saw him. He's making a speech somewhere, and he screwed it up pretty badly. But he's got his glasses, the whole deal, you know, standing outside, wind blowing. He doesn't look great for us. He doesn't look, that's not what we want. That's not what we want. President Xi used to look at him and still does, I guess, right? But he used to just, he just said, this makes me so happy, he says. And Putin and the whole group, Kim Jong-un, they're tough guys out there. They're tough and they're smart and they're streetwise and they're at the top of their game. And we don't have that. That's very nice. Thank you. What a good line that is. She said, that's why we have you. Thank you very much. Wow. Do you know that woman? You know that one? That's very good. Thank you. It's very nice. Thank you very much. 2 days ago, she said she could not think of any mistakes that she's made. She was asked a question. Can you think of anything that you would do different? Can you think of any mistakes that you've made? Now, actually, she couldn't think of it. It's about as good. She could say, I would have strengthened the border, I would have lowered taxes, there are about 500 answers she could give, and you're out of that question, right? She couldn't think of a thing. You know, the worst of all, though, really is 325,000 young children are possibly dead, but many of them are dead, but they're sex slaves, or at a minimum, they're missing. They'll never see their parents again, most likely. We'll do everything we can when we come back. I don't know. It's very far down the line. We're going to do everything we can to get them. But think of what that number represents, Dan. 325,000. And the fake news media doesn't even talk about it. If that were a Republican instead, it would be the biggest scandal in history. It would be the equivalent of nothing else. And they don't even talk about it. They cannot talk about 325,000 for you people are missing. Think of that, are missing, and probably will never be seen again, most of them. But we're going to do the best we can. It's a tough assignment. But most of them, they're probably dead. Under Czar Harris, there are 13,099 illegal aliens convicted of murder that were released from jails and prisons and penitentiaries, and they were set loose into the United States of America. We're like a garbage can. We're like a garbage can. First time I said it was last night. Gave a speech in Las Vegas. 29,000 people. It was an arena. We set the arena record. That was a big deal arena, too. We set the record, but it was an amazing crowd. The first time I ever said it, I don't know, it just came out, garbage can. We're like a garbage can for the rest of the world to dump the people that they don't want. Do you know what they save on that? Their mental institutions are being emptied out. Their jails and prisons are being emptied out. And their gangs and their drug dealers and everybody's being taken off the streets. And Venezuelan crime is down 72%. Can you believe it? Well, that's because they don't, the criminals are being put here. If we don't win this election, we're going to go to Venezuela next year, Ted, and we're going to celebrate there because it's going to be much safer than our country, okay? Is that a deal? We'll all go together.
You're winning.
No, it's just so bad. Well, I have to tell you, I'm not supposed to say it, but we are winning by a lot, actually. And the reason is we want them to keep voting because we have to go, these used to take one day. Now they go on forever. And bad things happen. Lots of bad things happen. Where are those votes that I saw 2 days ago? Well, we're painting that section and we decided to move them, sir. Oh, you can't believe it. So they said, don't say it. So I didn't say it. Don't tell anyone I said that. But we're doing well. We're doing well in all 7 states. Every one of those swing states we're doing well. And we're doing really well here. But we expect that. We expect. But in another atrocity, Kamala released and unvetted MS13 gang members from El Salvador into the United States. These are real beauties. MS13, that's another gang. They use knives. They like knives because it's more painful. They cut people up. They killed 2 young students walking to school, 2 beautiful young women, young girls. And they were walking to school, and they got them walking to school, and they knifed them up and cut them up. Didn't want to use guns because that's not painful. And you know who got rid of them? ICE. They're friends from ICE. They work so well together. And Kamala wants ICE is, you know what ICE is? Tough people that love our country. They have to be tough. Because I know a lot of tough people right up here. You don't want to do what they do. They got to be tough. And they've done a great job, but they did a very good job here. But the animal that went on to attack and tie up a 20-year-old autistic woman in Maryland before, raping her and strangled her to death very violently in front of numerous people, and actually put it on tape. These are the people we're bringing into our country. In New York this past summer, an illegal alien released into our custody and came into our country by Kamala. You know, I never use the word Harris because nobody knows who I'm talking about. When I say Harris, they say, who the hell is Harris? It's true. If I said VP Harris, nobody knows who it is. Can you believe she's a VP? A VP. How about the guy she's got? That's worse. I'm not sure. It might be worse than her. Well, she lived by the old adage, always get yourself a bad VP. And she's got one. We were very happy when we heard that choice, but we didn't know he was as bad as he did. He's a disaster. But Kamala approached 2 13-year-old children with, think of this, these people that she let in with machetes, knives, guns, in broad daylight, forced them into the woods, tied them up together, their wrists, everything, raped the young girl at the park, filmed the entire thing, put it on camera, put it out for everybody to see, badly injured this person and somebody with her too, really badly. In Georgia this year, and you know this, everybody knows this, except Biden, he didn't know how to pronounce her name after pressure because he didn't talk about it either, Alexis. He refused to talk about it. Then he was actually forced to because it got so crazy. But in Georgia this year, an illegal alien criminal with ties to Trinidad, Aragua, kidnapped, assaulted, and murdered a brilliant young nursing student, Laken Riley. You remember? Laken Riley, who was a beautiful, I got to meet the parents a couple of times. They're incredible, but they're like devastated. You know, you can't really say, oh, well, everything will be, it's not going to be okay. It's not good. It's just, you can't really, there's nothing you can say, really. A lot of times they say, like to Alexis, what can I say? The only thing we can do is do something about it so it doesn't happen again, you know, and that's all we can do. But she murdered her while she was out on a run. She wanted to keep herself in good shape, and they got her. Her killer was yet another monster released into America through this open border policy of Kamala and her group of radical left idiots. Under the Trump administration, we will end this migrant invasion, and we will deport every last criminal alien, targeting our daughters and our children, our families, other people's families. They're going to be gone. They're going to be gone fast. Some are so violent, you know, we can't let them go. We can't send them in because they'll come back. But we have some pretty strong policies that we're putting into place immediately on January 20th. We're honored to be joined